Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of Winning Time with your boy, Jeremy Boudinet, and the one and only Brian Trautschold, Ambition co-founder and COO.
What's up, George?
How are we doing
What's
today,
up, man?
BT? How's your Thursday going?
I like that this
awesome.
Thursday we're doing a backward hat segment. Unplanned showed up, both in hats. It's going great, man. I've done a lot of, I've spent a lot of time on screens today, which is not the best, but I'm psyched to be here with you. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Tell me about
I'm good, man. Yeah, sitting here, I just got the webinar.
I had blocked off 30 minutes on my calendar in which I was going to turn on a just vibes playlist and try to reset my brain for this conversation. And I didn't do that though. I didn't do the full reset.
I need to know real quick before we jump in, what's on the BT Vibes playlist?
Oh my gosh, I'm like going to. So we have a channel now where we are literally where we're sharing the different vibe songs we've been pulling up. But it is so insane because it's like these ambiance.
I saw that.
I can't even describe. Like, it's basically like vaporwave and mall soft, like electro tunes. There's a whole subset of people on Ambition who are sharing these songs, and they're all like 4-hour-long YouTube videos of just different tracks. But I'm deep in the vaporwave game and deep in the mall soft game.
All right, well, everyone, now we've covered sort of, music corner here.
CEO says,
on Winning Time. You look like you're in a spa right now, BT. It kind of looks like got a little bit of spa vibes going on there with the wood paneling and the foliage.
It's got some nice light. There are a lot of plants. They keep bringing plants in here. This little plant just got moved over here. It's nice. I have never watered a single plant at a single office we've ever worked at. That's a true statement. And I don't know how they're staying alive, but yeah, the plants, they keep showing up with more plants here at the office.
What we need, I need every week there to be like a new plant, and eventually you're just like in a jungle.
I'm just surrounded by foliage. I can even, look, this one just got moved in. There's a tree.
We sent
like 6 weeks from now, we can't even see you. You're just like
fully surrounded. That's what the people want. That's what the revenue leaders of tomorrow. I'll do that for you guys. I'll be broadcasting from the jungle.
Yeah. So BT. So I struggled with our topic this week, but there's really been one major news item that I want to cover with you involving two companies you and I have both known for over a decade. Salesforce acquiring Intercom for, I believe it was $3.7 billion, something like that. 3.6. Yeah. So insane, a massive acquisition in the MarTech SaaS sales world. What do you think, man? You've known these guys for a long time. I feel like this is right in your wheelhouse to kind of share your thoughts on.
Well, first and foremost, they thought we were dead. They thought we were down and out. We are so back, baby. We are so back. We are back. Thank you, Benioff, single-handedly. Just pulling our entire industry out of the grave. No, huge shout out to I think the operating name right now is Finn, but formerly known as Intercom. Yeah, like really great story. And I think for those who don't know, a customer, I guess like demand, but also customer support, customer, kind of like engagement software. Really, I feel like pioneered the how do you chat with, how do you interact with your customers live. And I think the real story here, not to take away anything from those guys who built an incredible company, and this is not first party information at all, but the founders, I believe, had left. And I think the founder came back, took that CEO role rather in recent history. And I think the interesting change that you're seeing with that company, which is bread and butter traditional SaaS company, is how they leaned into AI and how they leaned into reframing the value story they were delivering in AI. And for those who are not familiar, Intercom, now known as Finn, had developed an agent, which was also called Finn, which is confusing. But the agent was all part of the pricing and packaging that they had rolled out. And we had actually talked about this in Ambition a couple months ago as they were kind of launching some of this stuff. But effectively, they changed their pricing and packaging model to really decrease the emphasis on the number of licenses that you were going to sell to their product and leaned into the agent resolution. So when you interacted with an agent and you came to a resolution, or you kind of ended the conversation, which I think they count as a proxy for reaching a resolution. That was like, the interaction volume you were going to be charged on. So if you did thousands of interactions per week. I think the most recent pricing I had seen was 99 cents per resolution. They were moving to this base plus variable pricing, and that pricing on the variable end was to a support resolution, which I think is really interesting. And what was elegant about the way they positioned it was you still had a number of licenses. You still had users, and those licenses had a level of functionality or level of capability attached to it. But then you had the variable, and ideally for most people, the increasing volume of resolutions that were being delivered. And I think this is something that any company that is trying to navigate what the customer thinks of as valuable and what how they're selling and positioning their product, you're going to have to really figure out how do we align, the value. And what Finn did really well, Intercom now Finn, is they really focused on that, putting it first and foremost. We're going to charge you based on how many interactions we have.
It's a great pricing structure by them. It reminds me a lot of Texel, my old company I was at. Our pricing structure too, where it was like a seat, and then you'd pay per text. So it was, very much of the pricing was usage based, but I think tying it to an outcome was a really creative and, like you said, elegant way to assign value to the use of the AI. We also use Intercom. Shouts out to them. We use them at Texel. They were the only GTM platform we used from the day I got there till the day I left, all the way through. Wow. We switched pretty much everything else, but Intercom, we kept finding new, really useful ways to enhance it, and even as our workflows changed, it seemed to work with whatever we were doing. So I know there's still Finn users there, so really exciting. So great job by them, and congrats to that CEO. I didn't realize the CEO had left and come back. That's a pretty cool
I think that's there. True. I don't want to misquote that, but what I really want to, lastly, shout out to those guys, but what I really want to say is, I think it's just the Undertaker gif right now. Everyone just rose out of the coffin. We were down, we were dead, and here we are, back alive.
Whole industry is back. There's a new template for how to get that massive exit, that massive acquisition everyone wants, right?
The exit's incredible, and the thing I think that will be fascinating when we're, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road, for those folks in our world, is how Salesforce is playing this. And Salesforce buying kind of like a vertically, like an expert vertical application, if that makes sense. Like, I think the world of vertical SaaS has long been kind of bemoaned. And in a world where you can vibe anything, the customer can build their own, this could be, a side project type idea. Them buying Intercom or Finn, and spending a lot of money on it is really, really interesting. I think this is not the first acquisition they've done like this recently. So you have Salesforce that is hyping and touting and really letting the agent force and the Salesforce Headless 360 take a lot of their message in the market, but simultaneously they're spending real money on acquiring, a vertical product, an AI-centric product for sure, and bringing that into the fold. So I think it'll be interesting, and I've seen a couple great, threads on this of, are they playing two kind of strategies at once, one of which is they will build the infrastructure with Agentforce and Headless 360, but then they're also going to lean into what I would call platforms that you can extend, to your example with Textla, where you can take this thing, is very AI-centric, and then you can extend it to a variety of use cases. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So, Salesforce continuing to still sort of be that anchor in our world is it's amazing, man. Like 26 years running now, right?
They're like LeBron. They just won't give up. They're re-signing. They're averaging 27, 7, and 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumors of their death was greatly exaggerated.
Yeah. the Benioff's son's going to end up, coming on the board at some point. And
do you think we're all getting older? Our peers in this industry are older. Yeah. When does dynastic SaaS start? When do we start having, dynasties of companies where like one of Elon's sons takes over SpaceX? He just has like a whole fiefdom of his children.
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like we're entering probably in the next 5-10 years, maybe that becoming a potential reality.
Well, it kind of went out of style when we went through, kind of like the performance culture of the 60s and 70s and 80s. And it was like, oh, you can't do like a succession internally where like, the Boudinet company is now run by the next generation of Boudinet. It's like you have to go hire a great manager. But what if we transition back to a dynastic succession where everyone's just hiring their progeny to run their companies?
Well, I think what's hurting that is I think everyone's kind of realized what the old tale in capitalism. The first generation builds it, the second generation manages it, the third generation, like it's doomed.
Destroys it.
So like you're kind of, if you do have to your progeny, you're basically saying, well, we're going to maintain at this point, but we're not going to go up. And eventually we're going to crater if they do this again. So
we're joking. For the fans, we're not actually advocating for that.
No, we're not. I think that especially in SaaS, which is such the ultimate like performance-based, I feel like, industry.
You know what I will say though, a little side note for the fandom and the sponsors out there, shout out. We have a competitor. We really don't compete anymore, but we had a competitor where they appointed the son as president, and I remember being so stoked when that happened because I was like, this can only be better for us.
I hate to say. I think you were probably justified in that feeling. You're like, oh.
But to your point, it was like, oh, great. Yeah, this is fantastic.
Throwing in the towel.
They don't realize they're dead, but they're dead.
Yeah, exactly. So there's very few. I can only think of one, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to bring us back to sports. Art Rooney, handed down to his son, Dan Rooney, had a great, he was the president of the Steelers in the 90s and the 2000s when they killed it. Unfortunately, it's now gone to the third generation, and now the Steelers are sucking. So I do think maybe that example of like, if your competitors are feeling really good about the fact that you just hand the reins to your son, it's not the guy you want. So
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump into our special guest section today. It is another Winning Time FaceTime with the founder of Harmony, GTM George. BT, do you want to kind of like walk us through what's about to transpire?
I can't wait for you guys to see the clip. Winning Time FaceTime continues to be the most fun segment. George is one of a kind. He was hard to track down. He's on the road grinding. But take a look. And once again, send us people who we should FaceTime about their winning recent deals.
What's up, George?
What's up, man? How we doing?
Man, that's awesome. Hey, you're on Winning Time FaceTime. I'm psyched to talk to you. We've been trading texts a little bit. I hear you got some big wins recently.
I got a few wins, man. Got a few wins. You know what's up.
I love it. Tell me about it. Tell me about one.
Yeah, man. We just closed as a client, which is awesome. So, yeah, rolling out to all their places and excited to get going, man. Excited to get it going.
For the people on the internet, tell me about Harmony AI and what you guys sell.
Yeah, man, we're the AI automation platform for American manufacturing. We send guys to go live in factories for about 9 months, implement our platform, and help automate the production of whatever the U.S. needs.
I love it, man. So how did you win this deal?
So the guy looked at my LinkedIn profile, and I saw that he checked us out, and then I annoyed the hell out of this guy for probably 2 weeks straight. Wrote him really personalized messages about how I used to shoot, and the whole 9 yards. I think I probably sent him like 7 messages or something like that.
He's not replying at any.
He's not replying.
No,
okay.
I love it. I love it.
No, there was a guy, man. I'm working on this one. 20 replies. CEO says, stop messaging me. I pitch him one more time, and then he loops in his head of IT. And it's like, all right, let's do it.
Dude,
all right, it's great.
I love that because, like, I feel like so many people now, I mean, even like he just looked at your profile. He wasn't like hand raising, being like looking at pricing or like downloading something. It was just a view. Yeah, and you're like, I'm locked in.
Oh, yeah. Laser, dude. Laser.
All right. So you send 7 messages. Or you send 6 messages, you're not getting anything. What changed on the 7? What was the difference? Just persistence?
Yeah, so like, okay, so we sent a few. He responded once and was like, it's interesting, then stopped responding for like 3 messages. But that first one was like, I knew I had something there. You know, so I was like, he's on the hook. I just got to keep following up. And then finally got him on a call. And as soon as we got on the call, it was electric, right? It was just like, all right, we hit it off. Like, your problems are mine. I can solve your problems. Let's go. And then from there, it was like, you know, I always book the second call on that first call or they're not going to show up. So it's like,
that's right.
I book it the same week as fast as possible. Got him on. I think we were on like a Monday. We got on a Friday, looped in his CFO, and then we were ripping it, man.
Dude, that's amazing. Okay, so you get the initial call, you get the kind of like the other stakeholders on the call with the CFO. What did you do when this crossed the finish line? And I'm assuming that's like a signature or I'm like, what was the? Are you like cool?
I bang the hell out of that gong over there, dude. That's what I do. Yeah, absolutely. And then we go get some beers. Like, that was exactly what we did. It was awesome. Just celebrate with the team, screamed, yelled, let's go. Any win is a win for us, man. We celebrate them hard.
I love founders closing deals, and I love that story specifically because, like, a lot of founders are just so too far into like the 30,000 foot view, and like you're getting a bunch of impressions. You do great content on LinkedIn. You're doing it out there. Like, you could easily be like ignoring that and waiting for someone to be like, hey man, I want to see I want to hear about what you guys do. Instead, you're out there pursuing it, truly out there in the arena. That's a huge props to you for that, man.
Thank you, man. No, it's all the small stuff, dude. I mean, I'm the only go-to-market guy on our team. We're a team of like 10 or 12 right now. Everyone else is an engineer living in a factory. And yeah, I mean, like, some crazy stuff I've done for go-to-market is like, even for we got them custom Carhartt jackets, and I designed and printed a patch and then sewed it onto the Carhartt jacket with like "Protect the West" on the back. Just to get the deal. I sent the CIO, I found out it was his birthday, found out he loved snowboarding, and got him AR like snowboarding goggles, and I put it on my personal because I was like, this has got to go through. And
that's amazing. So you've been hustling this whole thing. You've been hustling this deal on all angles, getting the whole buying committee.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we drove down to Eagle Pass, Texas, on the border of Mexico. Went to Mexico, literally in the... Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, I love this so much. All right, for other founders or just even sellers at early stage companies, in your words, like, what's the advice that they can take from that? I have some way that I would put it, but like, how would you position it?
At most larger companies, they will never do a very high personal touch, high effort thing that'll make them stand out. It'll just be the classic annoying email sequences and cold calls, and just it's very annoying. I think that people really admire like the giving mentality is like, when you give, you get, and that's not really how I think about it, but I do think that, like, if you show you actually love somebody's company, I like to work with companies I really do like admire what they're doing for America, or I have some tie to personally, and those are the ones I'm going after 24/7. Because I actually do love them. I think it's really cool, and I really do admire them. So when I'm telling them all this personal stuff, like, I never try to make it about me, but I try to show them that it's like about them and why I admire them. right? Because like they don't care about me, they care about them, right? So like that is always where I'm coming from, is like I don't want to give you a jacket with my logo like tatted all over it. Is like I want to maybe put my logo like this big and then your logo this big and stuff you care about, you know?
Man, that's great advice though. But like I think especially in the enterprise and large companies and certainly like established brands, the people who are there who have decision making prowess, they love their brand. They love the thing.
For
like
sure.
they're 10-year, 20-year. So that's fantastic advice. Dude, George, this was awesome. That's a sick story. I love working the whole chain of command. Thank you so much for being on Winning Time FaceTime, man. This is sick.
Of course, man. Let's go. I love it. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, man. Where can folks find you?
Find me on LinkedIn, George Munguia, as you can see it right there. Find me on Twitter, whatever. All my handles across everything is Jobs by George. So hit me up.
Jobs by George. And tryharmony.ai.
Tryharmony.ai. Email me, George at tryharmony.ai. If you're really good and you want to sell me something, find my phone number, man.
I love it. I love it, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Sweet. Later, guys.
BT, phenomenal. Loved it.
One all time. I mean, every week we get a better one. We one up ourselves, or our guests one up themselves. And yeah, dude, George is awesome.
Also, underrated X follower. He's actually blowing up on X right now. Fun fact, because he's posting about all of his sales wins on X. He was born to be on Winning Time FaceTime. He's celebrating his wins already on social.
We need more people proud of themselves celebrating wins.
Yeah,
for the fam. Like if you're out there and you're winning, tell us about it. We want to hear. People want to hear.
I love his strategy of bringing extremely high dollar whiskey to prospects to close deals. Like a tale's all his time.
I botched that once. I can't say that works for me. I not because anything bad happened. The person was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like you set it over there. Like, okay, great.
Maybe you just didn't present it correctly.
I don't know. I'm not like I just it just whiffed. It was a total whiff.
Set it over.
I didn't even get like the details of why he didn't care. He was just like, oh yeah, you can put it over there. I was like, okay. On to the meeting.
Yeah, tough sell. Rapport established. Love it, man. All right, so again, Winning Time FaceTime. If you want to appear on this segment, reach out to us. BT and I are taking inquiries. We love sharing these. So great way to promote your company too.
And yourself. We love it. We love the energy.
All right, BT. So we're getting to our Mount Rushmore of the week. This is a fun one. I thought we had a great one last week covering top sales leaders to follow, top go-to-market leaders to follow. This one, we're going a little bit less tangible and more like philosophical. So our Mount Rushmore this week is the Mount Rushmore of go-to traits for sales reps. I love this one. We're going to go rapid fire with them. So let's make this quick. So I'm going in first. BT, my first trait for a sales rep. I've managed a bunch. I've managed some phenomenal reps. I've also managed some ones that I'm not a fan of. But my number one trait, it's brutal honesty here. My number one trait I'm looking for in a great sales rep is high agency. I need a rep who operates well in ambiguity, takes initiative, and does not make excuses. If you're a high agency person, you're out there doing shit, regardless of whether I'm telling you to or not. If you do something wrong, like I'm not even mad about it necessarily, as long as you're trying something, we'll coach that up. But high agency is the number one thing I look for in a rep. So BT, what's yours?
Mine's related, and I like that high agency has become
George?
like the
What's
buzzword
up,
of
man?
today. But mine is not
awesome.
a robot,
Hey,
and I
you're
think that
on
we're seeing,
Winning Time FaceTime. I'm
the
psyched to
trend,
talk to
and we
you.
talked
We've been
about this
trading
on
texts
Sales
a little bit.
Operator Series earlier this week.
I
But
hear you
like,
got some big wins
we're trying to
recently.
automate, we're trying to
got a few wins, man.
agentic,
Got
we're
a
trying
few
to
wins. What's up?
replace
I love
with
it. Tell me
automation
about it.
some
Tell me
of the
about one.
real magic
man.
that is
We just
salespeople.
closed
And
as a
I
client,
think
which is
because
awesome.
people are hearing so much
So,
about
yeah,
AI
rolling out
SDRs
to
or
all their places,
AI
and
inbound or
excited to
AI
get
deal
going, man.
processing,
Excited to get
they
going.
then
For the people
like
on the
emulate
internet,
the robot.
tell me
And instead of
about
like
Harmony
we're trying to
AI,
emulate
what
what's
you
great
guys
about
sell.
salespeople with
Yeah,
AI,
man, we're the
and the
AI
salespeople are
automation
making it easier
platform
by
for
acting like
American
robots.
manufacturing.
And the reality is that
Send
no
guys who live
buyer
in
wants to
factories for
interact
about
with.
9
They don't
months,
want to fill out your
implement our
form
platform
in
and help
Salesforce.
automate
They
the
don't want
production
to,
of
you know,
whatever the US
hear
needs.
repeated scripted
I love
talking
it,
points.
man.
They want
So
to
how
connect
did
with a
you win
human
this
who they
deal?
build trust with. So,
the
you know,
guy
my Mount
looked at
Rushmore
my
is
LinkedIn
not a
profile,
robot.
It's a story one.
And,
love it. I saw a great post where someone pointed out that like people are just obviously using Clay plus Claude to just mass blast people, and they think they're being personalized, but like
really
no one's buying
personalized
it. Be it really.
messages,
My number two one,
and
coach
the whole 9
ability.
yards. I think I probably sent
If you
him
respond well to
7
coaching,
messages or
if
something
you respond quickly, if you make adjustments after being told just once what to do, I love you. You're my favorite sales
there's a
rep.
guy,
Like
man,
I think
working on this
coachability
one.
is
20
one of the most
replies.
important things to screen for in
CEO
reps.
says,
Is people who don't think they
"Stop
know it all,
messaging me."
people who are willing to
I
learn,
pitch him one more time, and then he
who
loops in his
actually
head
make
of
the
IT.
adjustments once you
And
give
it's
them
like, all
the
right,
notes.
let's do it.
So that is my
Yeah,
number two. BT, what is yours?
I had,
like,
once again,
I feel
I
like so
do
many
not
people
be.
now-
Do not be
I mean, even,
transactional.
like, he
So
just looked at
many
your
of
profile. He
the
wasn't, like,
best deals I
hand-raising,
can think
being
of in the
like,
history of
looking at
ambition
pricing
did not
or, like,
happen
downloading
quickly
something.
or
It
did
was
not
just
happen on the
a
first
view.
try.
Yeah.
They
And you're
happened
like,
because
unlocked
there
it.
was a relationship
Oh, yeah,
built. There was
laser.
trust in that relationship,
Laser.
and in
So
many
you send
cases,
7
the best
messages,
deals were people
or you
who
send
have
6
bought
messages, you're
with
not
us
getting
multiple
anything.
times, who worked
What
across
changed
multiple
on the
companies.
second? What
We
was
call
like-
friends of
what was the
ambition.
difference?
And
Just persistence?
if you take a transactional
Yeah, so
approach
like,
as a
okay, so
seller
we
and you treat
sent
every single person as a
you
get
responded
quick
once, it was like,
commission
it's
check,
interesting, then stop
well,
responding for
they're
like
not
3
coming back
messages.
to
But
you.
that
They
first one
feel
was
that,
like,
they
I knew
understand
I
that.
had-
Whereas if
had
you
something
built
there.
something
You know, so
substantial,
he was
something
yeah, he's on
human
the
that's a
hook. I just
connected
gotta keep
tissue,
following up.
and you've done a good
And
job
then
for
finally
him.
got
There's
him
a
on
dude who
call,
I
and as soon as
bought.
we got on the call, it was
Oh my God, I can't
electric,
remember
right?
his name right
It was
now.
like, all right, we hit it
But I
off.
bought from him.
Like, your problems
I
are
didn't
mine.
buy from
I can
him
solve your
at
problems. Let's
3
go.
different companies, and a 4th
Yeah.
company
And
I bought
then
something
from
or
there,
whatever
it
he
was
was.
like,
He was inside.
You know,
And
I
like that
always
dude
book the
has
second
followed
call
me
on that
on
first call, or
LinkedIn
they're
for
not
like
gonna show
9
up. So it's
years,
like,
and
right,
every
book it
single
the
time I'm
same
like,
week as
no,
fast
I don't
as
want
possible.
X, or we already
Got
have
him on, I
Y,
think we were on,
and
like, a
that's
Monday,
cool.
we
He's
got
just
on a
like
Friday,
he knows
looped
me.
in
I know
his
him. I know he works at
CFO,
smart
and then
companies.
we
Like
were ripping
it's
it.
great. Don't be
Dude,
transactional.
that's amazing.
I love it, man. Yeah, so like
okay, so
being
you get the
curious and
initial
helpful
call,
and playing
you
the long
get the,
game with your
kinda like
prospects.
the other
basically,
stakeholders
is
on the
the
call
key.
with CFO.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, my number
What
3.
did you do
I need
when this
competitive
crossed the finish
sales reps,
line?
BT. I need
I'm
sales
assuming
reps
that's
that like have a
signature
burning
or-
desire to
yeah.
win, or like
what was
borderline
the-
sociopathic
are you
desire
like,
to win.
I banged
A growing screen for
bang
this
the
is that
hell
you
out of
have
that
past
gong
life
over
as an
there, dude.
athlete,
That's what I
either
did.
in college or high school. You know,
Yeah,
are you
absolutely.
someone
And then we go
who
get some beers.
just
Like, that was
really,
exactly what we
really
did.
thinks you're the
Awesome.
best and wants to be the
Just
best?
celebrate with the
So
team,
competitiveness
scream,
is
let's
one of the most
go.
important ones. I
Any-
think that's
any
number
win is a
one
win for us,
engine.
man. We
People who are
celebrate 'em all.
self-motivated to get
I
better
love
and
founders
constantly
closing
improve. And it
deals,
goes.
and
I feel like this
love
one goes hand in
that
hand with the other two I
story
mentioned.
specifically
So
because, like, a lot of
competitiveness is
founders
a
are
key,
just
a very key
so,
one.
Yeah, the athlete
too-
example is
too
like
far into,
classic,
like, the
but I think
30,000
there's really
foot
something
view,
true
and, like,
both on the
you're getting a
coachability
bunch of
side,
impressions,
like you
you do
said,
great
like they're
content,
used to being
on
coached, they're
LinkedIn,
used to
you're
being
doing it
given
out there,
feedback
like,
about whatever
you could
they're
easily be like
we're doing
ignoring
beforehand.
that
But also you
and
just have to
waiting
want to
for
win.
someone to be like,
Yeah,
hey,
I
man,
think that's a
want to see
classic
it.
but
I
very
want to hear about what you
true
guys do.
sales
Instead, you're out
element.
there
Okay, here's
pursuing
another
it, you know,
counter of
truly out
not
there
the
in the
Rushmore.
arena.
You
That's a huge
you
props to
can't
you
be
for
like
that,
too
Thank you,
cold or
man.
too
No, it's
formal.
all
I
the
think there's a
small
lot of
stuff.
people who get
I'm
into
the only
sales
go-to-market guy on our
and they
team.
think they have to
We're
be
team of
like
10 or
in this
12
box
right
of
now.
formality or this
Everyone
box
else
of
is an
like,
engineer
well,
living in a
we'll
factory.
communicate via
And,
email. We will
yeah,
at the,
like,
the
some
given
crazy
time. The
stuff I've
prospect
done
told
for
me
go-to-market is
if
like,
at
even
Ambition,
from
if
we
you
got
don't
them
get
custom Carhartt
to
jackets,
a text
and I
level
designed and
with
printed a
your
patch,
prospect
and
or
then
with the
sewed it
person
onto the Carhartt
champion on the
jacket with,
deal,
like,
we don't
protect
feel
the
really
rest
good
on
about
the
it.
back.
That means you're kind
You
of
know,
getting
just to get
put
the
in a
deal, I
specific
sent
box,
the
which is like you can
CIO,
email
I found out it was
us
his
at
birthday,
these times. We
found out
can
he
meet
loved
on this
snowboarding
call
and
at the
got him
prescribed time on the
AR,
calendar.
like,
You've got to be
snowboarding
able to
goggles, and I
navigate
put it on my
and build a
personal, so I was
relationship
like,
that's
this has
beyond
gotta
that,
go through.
ideally by text or
and-
by
That's
offline
amazing. So you've been
sideline on the
hustling this
phone.
whole
And some
thing.
people,
You've
I
been
think,
hustling this deal at all
misinterpret
angles, getting
yeah,
the
like
whole buying
the
committee.
level
Yeah,
of
for sure. I mean, we
relationship you can
drove
build.
down
And to
to
be too cold or
Eagle
to
Pass,
keep it too
Texas, on the
formal
border of Mexico.
keeps you from being able to make that
went
human
to
connection.
Mexico.
That's very well said. Yeah, I think people mistake, I'm trying to say this in all the
crazy.
professional channels, email,
Dude, I
meetings.
love this so
Actually,
much.
a lot of the magic happens outside
All
those
right,
traditional
for other
channels.
founders
Right?
or
So
just even
it's the
sellers that
back
early
channel
stage
texting about
companies,
what's happening, all
in
that
your
good stuff.
words,
So
like, what's the
it
advice
makes sense,
that they
man.
can
So
take
yeah,
from
again,
that?
going
I
back
have
to
the
be
way that I
human,
would
play
put
the
it, but,
long
like,
game,
how would you,
ties in
how would
really
you
well.
position it?
My fourth and final one, I think if a rep has
At
these 4
most
traits that I've
larger
named, BT, I think they're like a
companies, they
slam
will
dunk
never
winner.
do
So
a
like,
very
I'm just saying,
high
like if I'm a
personal touch,
recruiter,
high
I'm trying to
effort
hire
thing
someone, I'm screening for
that'll
these
make
4 qualities alone, and if they
them
have them,
stand
it's
out.
like
It'll
a
just
home
be the
run. So
classic
money
annoying
hungry. Are you a
email
money hungry
sequences
sales rep?
and cold
Are you in
calls
debt?
and just-
Do you have
it's very
do you have a
annoying.
girlfriend
I
who has
think
really
that
expensive taste
people
or
really
boyfriend?
admire
I want to know. Because if you do, that's a great sign. So are you driving a crappy car that you really need to get out of? You know, you want to be in like a Land Rover. Like that's it. So I don't want a guy who's trying to save the world or save the whales or whatever. I need to do is trying to join a country club and buy a McMansion for his wife or husband. So that's my thing. So screening for someone who's money hungry and is money motivated, sales is the all-time trope, but it's still true.
What's your hiring question to identify the money hungry?
They don't care about me; they care about them.
I'm thinking about my brother who was hired by Paycom fresh out of college, and they asked him a question. They saw that he had just gotten a new car lease. And they asked him how much it was and how much he was going to need to pay for it. Basically admitted he was in debt. And they immediately were like, okay, that's a sign. You know,
you're hired based on being in debt.
They love the thing.
Yeah,
like
that was literally like agree. I guess they had seen that enough in guys who, or if you have student loan debt or there's something else where you're like, I'm in this hole and I have to get out by any means necessary. Like there's going to be a desperation there that someone else who has a trust fund may not have, if you know what I mean.
You can't have that. I could not agree more. Yeah, it's even better when it's like someone who's had some level of early career success. And the young people, shout out to the young sellers out there, the young hustlers. But like when you go buy like a really ridiculous vehicle, like an impractical vehicle, that's a good sign. That's like a really great sign. Yeah, like if you buy like a Chevy Camaro, like because like a 2-door, anything that's 2-door, like I know like great. Like, it's not a practical vehicle.
If you're 26 years old and you've been in sales for 3 years and you drive a Chevy Camaro, like 100%, that is
we want you.
Yeah, I know everything I need to know about you from that. So yeah,
I've been at conferences with a few, and like ladies have the same thing. Ladies sellers, they can just eyeball every bag at a conference that like a woman's holding. And I'm like, cool, it's probably going to work out. Like you're already spending this money in your head on this handbag.
Yeah.
Great. You don't need it. It's probably not practical for a 30-ish-year-old woman, but like to each their own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want that Louis V. You want, what's it called? Like it starts with the B, the handbag. Birkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got Birkin, it's a wrap. We know.
Go close those deals.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, my last counterfactual. I like how we've done the Rushmore and the counter Rushmore, but you can't be too thirsty. And we've talked about this before because the best salespeople, they always know there are more deals. And they're when you start being thirsty, it's now moved to you. You want to close the deal. The thirst is on you versus like you want it to happen for the success of the customer. And I'm a big believer that the customer, the prospect can feel that. They can feel whatever that desire is. And the desire it's not pure. Pure sales is like, I want this thing to happen. It's going to be great. My customer is going to have success. It's going to be a great look for our company, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with wanting it to close and being, trying to drive urgency, being excited about that, wanting the check on the other end. All that stuff is great. But if the customer can sense it, is no good. It's no bueno because they are going to, it's like being too desperate at the bar at the end of the night. Yeah. And like, everyone, your potential partner in that case is just pulling back. They're just pulling away as they feel that. And so don't be thirsty. Be cool. Give the customer a little space. Understand, mirror their communication style. Mm-hmm. Don't be weird. Simple stuff.
I love it, man. So yeah, great Mount Rushmore's BT. So to recap for mine, high agency, coachability, competitiveness, money hungry. Those are the traits I'm screening for. BT has the counter traits, which is if you see someone who's a robot or is transactional, is cold and too professional and
too
thirsty.
Professional.
Yeah. And is thirsty. That's a no-go.
Hey, another winning time success. The first anti-Rushmore, maybe a recurring theme. Maybe we'll do a recurring theme for the young sellers out there. Don't go drive yourself into debt. Don't buy a 2-door vehicle tomorrow. It's okay to be money hungry and not make poor decisions in your life. But yeah, look in the mirror. See which of those things, especially on Jeremy's positive side, which ones you can improve. Conversely, look at the look at the counter Rushmore and make sure that you don't check any of those boxes. I think all of those are pretty malleable things that you can adapt over time. And they're all obviously on a spectrum, but you can improve on all of those.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So great episode, man. Salesforce, shouts out Salesforce, resurrecting SaaS as we speak. We're back. Shouts out George. Our first Mount Rushmore / junkyard Rushmore, or whatever you want to call it. So great pod.
Big shout out to Benioff.
Yeah, Benioff.
Way to go.
Sponsor the pod. Let's get Salesforce.
Hey, appreciate you, Benioff. Finn guys, great job. Great work. 15 years in the making. Overnight success. Absolutely.
So that's it, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. If you want to appear on Winning Time, email us. It's jeremy.boudinet@ambition.com or brian.trautschold@ambition.com. Come holler at us.
We want to. See you guys.
See ya.